G'day guys, this is Holy Critic back again with your weekly movie fix. In today's episode, I'm winding the clock back to the summer of 1974, where a shocking incident occurred off the coast of Hawaii. Some of you may have been old enough to remember the infamous double homicide and subsequent murder trial which captured the imagination of the nation. The events behind the sordid tale eventually formed the basis for Vincent Bugliosi's #1 best-selling true crime novel, And the Sea Will Tell. Vincent was not only the author but the real-life defense attorney of those accused of perpetrating the crime. In the 1991 made-for-television miniseries, his character was played by actor Richard Crenna. But before I jump ahead of myself, let me first set the scene for you. So, James Brolin and Deidre Hall play wealthy San Diego couple Mac and Muff Graham. They decide to set sail on the high seas for a year-long whirlwind adventure. During their travels, they stop by a tiny South Pacific island named Palmyra. It's the exotic and serene paradise they were looking for all along. Total peace on earth, if but for one minor problem. You see, they aren't the only inhabitants living there. The island also harbours a dope-dealing fugitive named Buck and his hippie girlfriend Jennifer. They share an uneasy coexistence until one mysterious day. The Grahams vanish without a trace, leaving desperate calls from family and friends left unanswered. But even more bizarre is the sudden reappearance of Buck and Jennifer. The Coast Guard is immediately alerted to their presence aboard the Grahams' vessel. This is made even more suspicious by their attempts to elude capture. They look as guilty as sin in the eyes of the public, but without any witnesses or physical evidence, pinning a murder charge on them is next to impossible. And this is where the plot thickens. 6 years go by and all hope of finding them alive fades away. But the discovery of a human skull washed up on the beach reignites the cold case. Buck and Jennifer are subsequently rounded up and hauled before the courts. It's obvious they were involved somehow, but to what extent? Are they both equally culpable of murder, or is Jennifer's involvement far less? This is the quandary facing Vincent, who's tasked with convincing the jury of her innocence. It makes for an intriguing courtroom drama which later becomes the main focal point of the story. And the Sea Will Tell is a case study in the wicked nature of man and all his greed, lust and envy. Its stellar cast, which included James Brolin, Richard Crenna and Rachel Ward, who played Jennifer, all gave exemplary performances in their respective roles. I'm honestly hard-pressed to think of a more enthralling true story, so I ended up with a final rating of 3.5 halos out of 5. The only major downsides I found was the long runtime and constant flashbacks. You need to be fully invested to enjoy it because it tends to jump around quite a bit. Anyway, I hope my midweek selection suits your interests, and tell me in the comments whether you were already familiar with the case before watching this review. As always, don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you're looking forward to watching this on Wednesday, and I'll catch you again on the next one.